What's up, guys? Welcome to Life of Acro. I'm Acro Brandon and this is my life. Today we're going to do a review on the Comica AX1 audio mixer for your camera gear. But even though this is going to be a quick brief tech review, I am going to show you how I put the things together and how they work in conjunction. But I too still have some unanswered questions, so if you happen to know the answers to my questions and the problems that I'm having, I would love to have them. So welcome to my virtual fitness studio. This is where me and my girlfriend run virtual online trainings every other week. We just happened to pick it up when the pandemic started. We run basically like Zumba certifications virtually through Zoom, and it's been working really good, which is the reason why I actually ended up buying this Comica mixer right here. So just to give you a little bit of background onto why I need multiple microphones and how that works with our setup here, right? We teach floor work, we teach pole dancing, I do handstands, acrobatics, other bits and pieces of movement arts. So when the pandemic started, we realized that we needed to move from brick and mortar trainings that we were doing to a virtual platform. So our hand was kind of forced, but it has been a blessing in disguise because we've been doing these every other weekend. I want a fucking break. It's been working out good. So you see the room behind us, and typically, since I'm the techie kind of guy, I'm the cameraman, I'm working the computer, and then my girlfriend is doing the teaching part of it, and then I jump in occasionally as well. So what did we need? We needed two microphones, right? We needed one main microphone shooting onto the floor that she could talk into, and for me, kind of like this one right here, I typically keep an additional microphone on the desk while I'm working on the laptop so I can give my participants cues, or I can talk, and we don't have to share one microphone back and forth. So we needed to figure out a way to route both of the microphones in to the camera at the same time, and fast forward, here we are on this device here. Now I actually did start with Rode's version of this mixer right here, but theirs was only meant for powered microphones that have batteries. So if you happen to have something like a Saramonic or the Rode Video Micro or something like that and you were to plug it in, it actually would not pick up any audio, or if it did, it was so faint it was unusable. So I found this thing right here, still around the same price mark, just a little bit cheaper. And what's nice about it is it will work with any type of microphone for the most part that has a 3.5mm input, because it has two AAA batteries, which you can turn on to power these microphones here. And it also has a port for headphones, which we're actually going to use in a second. So we're actually going to get into it. So you have your inputs here, and I'm not going to do any special zoom ups because I'm sure there's already some other reviews like this. But you have three settings: line, microphone, or 3-volt on each side, which if you had an unpowered microphone, you'd put it on the 3-volt and it would help there. And then on the back side, you've got two dials, one for the right channel, one for the left channel. You have your headphone input, and then your output to the camera or whatever your audio recording source is. And then a mono and stereo switch, which we're going to discuss here in a second because I have unanswered questions. And then an on-off switch, which is really for the mic, and an on-off switch, which is for the headphones that you can hear yourself. So let's get started. So for all intensive purposes, the microphone here to my right will be the right microphone for your stereo sound, and this will be the left one over here. This was a nicer $200 microphone. This was a $50 microphone off of Amazon because I didn't need anything fancy for this. So let's get into it, okay? So I'm gonna turn this on. I'll be able to monitor my audio. And both of my channels, or the volume controls for both microphones, are set to the maximum. But instead of saying what I think 0 to 100% is, I'm going to use it like a clock. So right now, both of these dials are set to maximum volume. And if that was a clock, it looks like 5 p.m. to me, okay, on both sides. And if I were to turn it all the way down, and I'm going to turn the right side down all the way. And interesting enough, the audio might sound a little bit muted too, right? So if I turn it up just a little bit, the audio comes back, and these are the questions that I have. But 0 is right around 7 o'clock, okay? So we're going to come back over here. I'm going to turn it back up 100% both sides, okay? 5 p.m. for both of these right here. So you can see that in mono, right, the audio is going to come in, and it doesn't matter which microphone is picking up. If I speak right into my left one, you can still hear it through both ears. And if I speak into the right one, you can hear it through both ears, nice and clear and cloud. Nice and clear and cloud. Nice and clear. And as we go there, if I wanted to go into stereo, right, you get left and right. So if I'm speaking into my left one here, you should be hearing thing out of the left side of your microphone. And then if I'm speaking closer to the right side, right, you'd be hearing more into the right and less in the left. We have no particular need for stereo. But if I wanted to, if I was talking into the right and I wanted to turn the volume down, I could keep turning the volume down as I'm talking into it and it starts to diminish. And then the left is still kind of picking up whatever ambient sound or audio there is. And then I can turn the right side back up, and then that's back at 100%. Same thing over here. If I'm speaking more directly into the left side and I start to turn the left side audio down, right, you can hear it starting to diminish from the left side of your speaker until I start to bring it back up to the very top of 100% on both sides. Now, mono is where things get a little bit interesting and annoying, and I don't quite understand why, because I would expect the knobs to work just like they do in stereo, but in mono, regardless of which one is plugged into what channel, right? So if I am speaking into the right and I have the right at 100% and I turn the left side down just a little bit, the right side audio starts to get a little bit louder, okay? So right now I'm at 3 o'clock on the left side, speaking into the right microphone. If I take this all the way down to, say, 12 o'clock on the left side, it still sounds pretty good. You know, I mean, obviously the closer you are to the microphone, the better it's going to sound, but, right, this would be more realistic. But what gets kind of crappy is if I am speaking and I turn the left side down all the way, it really mutes out the audio from the right side. Look, I am speaking right into the microphone. The left side is at 0, right? 7 o'clock. And if I'm not right here, you can't actually hear anything. But as soon as I bring it up just a couple notches, let's say 9 p.m., and I'm talking, it starts to restore the audio level back to the right side, which is super annoying. And it does it on the same side. But if I go all the way to max on the left side, you'll also notice that the right side hits a little bit of a mute pattern, right? It reduces the audio. So here I am once again, talking into the right side, slowly turning the left side up. And as I increase the volume on the left side, once I get almost all the way to the top, back to, what did we say, 5 o'clock, you might notice that, I don't know, this time it didn't quite do it. It's kind of marginal there. Testing. Well, let's see. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't, and I just still don't understand. Now let's switch over to the left microphone. So the same deal's happening over here, right? I'm going to talk into the left microphone, but I'm going to start to reduce the volume on the right side, and that made that a good little boost. And I'm using a super corduroy pattern here on this microphone. And as I start to continue reducing the right side, we're at 12 o'clock, and then once I get to right here, here is 9 o'clock, and we're really close to cutting off the sound off of the right side microphone. And then, where did the audio go? WTF. Why is it that when I cut one microphone or the other at 100%, it affects the other microphone? So that's the question that I have here for you guys, is if you have any, look at that. Okay, so if we go back up to 100% on the right side, is it actually going to change the input volume of this left side microphone? Yes, to me it sounded like it just reduced the amount of volume from this microphone once the right side volume gets to 100%. But if I back it off a couple of clicks, then we get a lot more audio input just from the left side. Why is that affecting? But regardless, it does do its job. It does work. It has worked excellent for us for the last, 4 or 5 months. This is a new unit right here. But if you have any answers to this, I am definitely not a photo video aficionado. I am trying to get better at my craft. And obviously starting to work on photography since we have some backdrops and stuff like that back here. So, like I said, a little review here on the Comica audio mixer for your DSLR or any other camera setup that you want. Do I recommend it? Yes. Do I think there are some things that need to be worked on? Absolutely. Do I need to switch to just more of like a microphone mixing board? Maybe. But if you have any information specifically as to why it's doing what it is, so I have a better understanding why that is actually happening, I would love to hear it. Drop it in the comments, and I'll see you in another video.